Hey guys, welcome back, episode 37. We're going to just kind of go back to a topic discussed in previous episodes, episode 3 and 4, where we looked at shoulder mobility. We've had a lot of success from patients reporting improvements from doing those exercises, but what we're going to show you is a little kind of precursor that you can use ahead of doing those to really kind of enhance the effect of them a little bit more. We found guys are getting good results, but are also spending a bit too long doing those exercises on occasion because they haven't prepped to doing them well. So I'm going to show you a little kind of posterior shoulder, posterior capsule release exercise with a ball, which if done correctly is very effective, but also pretty miserable. So you have to be prepared for that. You're going to get yourself down in side lying. So you're going to get yourself on the floor in side lying. And my shoulder is going to be in front of my body. So I'm going to protract my shoulder and push my arm forward. This is really important so that we open up the tissue at the back of the shoulder. With the ball, I'm going to place the ball literally under the pocket of tissue at the back of my shoulder. It's not in my armpit, and that's really important to distinguish. It's not in the armpit, it's in the pocket of tissue just behind my deltoid in the back here, which is your rotator cuff. In this position, the first thing you'll do is accept load onto the ball, and then you're going to reach your hand away from the ball without rolling on the ball. You're just going to kind of push your hand away from the ball without moving the ball. In this position, you're ready to go. So then you would go for adding some rotation to the arm from the shoulder to really kind of wind up the release at the point of the ball. So we typically go for a big humeral rotation, so it's coming from the upper arm and not just the lower arm moving independently. The whole arm itself is rolling in and rolling out. Now this is in itself uncomfortable, but if you then change the length of that lever, you can really get some more purchase into the corners, and you can add a little bit of overpressure into those directions, keeping it an active process but adding a bit of extra. And it really does intensify it. For those of you that want even more stimulus, you can apply a glide above the position the ball is in as you're performing those exercises. And what you'll find this does, it really pins that ball in place and targets the release just above the ball's edge there. You will of course move around slightly after you've done the process. When you feel like it's released, you'll adjust yourself and find the next spot. And what you'll find is, as you adjust yourself and you move around, there'll be 2 or 3 really key tender spots. The problem we find with these tender spots is they tend to encourage the humerus to glide forward in the socket of the shoulder. It tends to push, a bit like 2 fingers on the back of a ball. If I was to squeeze my fingers together really hard, the ball would come forward. It's not dissimilar. The muscles at the back of your shoulder, your rotator cuff and your posterior capsule, when tight and restricted, almost serve to push things forward. So we get a lot of joint pain and lateral arm pain because of it. What it'll do, however, is when you're transitioning overhead or when you're trying to get into a position to mobilize, like in episodes 3 and 4, it will encourage the position of your arm, your shoulder socket, to come forward, and you won't get the maximum effect out of the exercise. So having a bit of a go with the ball before you do those big releases is a really nice way of just getting a bit more of a margin gain out of the exercise. As usual guys, have a go, let us know what you think, your comments are always welcome, and we'll see you soon.